Hello and welcome to the inside tour of P&O's latest ship, the stunningly beautiful Iona. If you have any questions you'd like to ask about any aspects of this video, please leave them in the comment box below and I will do my best to answer them. We begin our tour on deck 5 in the gym. The gym on Iona is extremely large, I guess because the number of people that are due to sail on her, and we found her very well equipped. As you can see, this was reasonably early in the morning and there weren't actually many people taking part in the activities of the gym. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of different machines available for you to use. There are also a number of other classes that are made available for you to take part in during the day. As you can see, Lindsey was eyeing up one of the bicycles to have a go on. And in fact later we did try out some of the equipment ourselves. There's also a separate room where you can take part in some of the spin classes and some of the other classes. And use those very large balls for exercising. From deck 5 we pop up to deck 6 and right at the front of the ship where we show the entry into the beautiful theatre. The theatre on Iona holds 950 people and can be entered from both deck 6 and deck 7. This is what it looks like from above, so you can see her in all her glory, and the blue labels on the seats are to identify social distancing. We leave the theatre now on deck 6 and proceed along past the lifts and past the spa, which unfortunately we didn't use, through to the art gallery. The art gallery on Iona is very large, but it's drawn out. You can see that the art gallery station where Alex was seated to is on the right hand side, and it goes right the way through the corridors. Halfway through the gallery we come to the Limelight Club. The Limelight Club is quite large again compared to that of Britannia, where you will find different acts available throughout the cruise. As we were only on a 7-day cruise, there was just one act available during that period, but they usually alternate on a weekly basis. The Limelight Club enables you to have a meal with an act and enjoy a secluded, excellent performance space. It really is very stylish, but I think that's true of all the spaces on Iona. It's a gorgeous area, and as you can see again, it is large. I don't think there's anything on Iona that feels small and cramped. The stage is larger than that on Britannia, which gives the acts much more chance to expand their performance and engage with the audience. And there's even a small dance floor, which with appropriate acts will enable people from the audience to come and dance with the band. We leave the Limelight Club now and continue our way through the art gallery. As I said before, it transitions along many of the walls throughout this area. From the art gallery we come into the stunningly beautiful atrium of Iona. Situated just off the atrium you'll find the 710 Club. During the day this area is used for consultations and demonstrations from people in the spa and other areas of the ship. During the evening it becomes an intimate music performance site and is really treasured by the people on board. It's inspired by Gary Barlow, who finds new acts to perform on board, and every evening the queues were really large for people waiting to see the 3 separate performances. A very popular venue that unfortunately Lindsey and I didn't actually get to take part in. So back out again into the atrium, and I think one thing that we've noticed all round Iona is the fact that it brings the outside in. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell and comment, as we do like to hear from you. This is the coffee bar on deck 6, which also provides cakes produced by Eric Landlard, a renowned patissier. You can see that there is a lot of seating in this area and really is stunningly beautiful, and although the floors look very shiny, I can assure you they're not slippery at all. Also situated on this floor is a cocktail bar, which you can see in front of us, and had some very interesting cocktails that were not available anywhere else on the ship. This area is also used for people to play pianos in the evening, and there is quite often live entertainment situated, but just to be in it and look around it is absolutely stunning. When we first walked onto the ship and came into this area, we stood and looked around and up and were amazed at the sight in front of us. The beautiful spiral staircase, the lovely light in the top. It's just a wonderful place to be, and made you feel good the moment you walked onto the ship. We continue now along deck 6 to Anderson's, which is a strange combination of library and bar. We love Anderson's bar on Aurora, and we loved it on Oriana when she was part of the fleet. But on Iona they've taken it a stage further, so half of the area is a beautifully comfortable sitting area with the library included, which is a really nice pleasant place to sit, where you can enjoy to read in the quiet and comfortable surroundings. And also in Anderson's is situated the gin distillery, which is the only one at sea. Well done P&O, another first. We proceed now through the library area, past the bust of Arthur Anderson, into the bar area of Anderson's, which is somewhere where we like to spend a little bit of time. It was actually the only bar on board where we could buy our favourite gin, Hendrick's. As you can see, the seats at the bar are still blocked off due to social distancing, but they have some very comfortable 3-piece suites in here, and other seating as well, depending on how long you're staying or what company you're keeping at the time. The only thing we found a little strange about this bar was that it shut rather early in the evening, and it was very difficult to get a drink after 11 o'clock. We leave Anderson's now and come towards the cinemas on board, and yes, Ocean Studios. I did say cinemas. There are actually 4 small bijou cinemas on this ship, all with the ability to play different films. However, while we were on, most of the time the same films were showing in cinema 2 and 4, and the same were showing in 1 and 3. However, some of the venues were also used for other activities during the days, like lectures. When you get down to this end of the cinemas, you can see there are 4 screens which show you which seats are available and which are taken. Inside they're quite small. There's not a huge amount of space, but with 4 different cinemas it's enough to cater for everybody, and certainly we never had a problem. We move along now deck 6 into the restaurants. There are 4 main dining rooms on Iona, 3 of them of which were in use at the time we were on board. The Pearl and the Coral are both similar in styling and are one above each other at the rear of the ship, and this is the Coral restaurant, a beautiful place. In the top left corner I put an insert in of the Aqua restaurant, which is one of the smaller restaurants on board. The same food being served but with a different decor. We now jump up to deck 7 and come through from the front of the ship into the casino. The casino is quite large, but not as large as you'll find on the American ships, and is closely linked to the bar next door, which of course is Brody's. A lovely comfortable bar that has entertainment throughout the day and in the evenings. Again, at this point in time, you were not able to sit up to the bar. It was very, very well used. There's even a pool table and a dartboard inside, although playing pool in a rough sea can be quite interesting. During the day, Brody's hosts a large number of quizzes and entertainments. Then in the evening, there's live music, or sometimes when there are big games on the go, you can see live football in here, and that was extremely popular as well. The drinks in Brody's again cover real pub drinks, including lots of choices of beers and beer flights available as well. We come out from Brody's and back into the Grand Atrium. We're now on deck 7. Again, you have the beautiful views out of the really high windows. And we come in now to an area that we did use, which was the glass house. So the glass house is basically all around the atrium on deck 7, and it's a little bit strange in configuration because there are no actual enclosed areas for people that are eating, which we found a little bit strange. The decor again is stunning, and as you can see there are small glass walls to sort of partition off the areas, but still we noticed there was a lot of foot traffic through here and right beside people that were eating as well. Again, we get a slightly different view of the spiral staircase in the atrium, and you can see another stunning angle. It really is beautiful and so light and airy due to the high windows. We continue to walk now through the glass house area, which is quite spread out, and we go into one of the shops on board. This is a special shop selling Fable whiskey, which is very, very high class whiskies, and some can sell for nearly £100 a bottle. It's not something I'm really that familiar with, but again it was done in a very subtle and stylish way, and contemporary as most things are on this ship. I think it's something that P&O have done well. They have integrated all the shops, which I will be showing in a later video, to integrate fully with the ship and maintain the stunning beauty throughout. You may be wondering why there aren't many people in these films. These because they were done early in the morning whilst most people were still in bed. Again, we go through the lift areas. These are similar in all three places, and you can see lots of lifts in the bank of lifts together. And here is some of the artwork on board. Everywhere you go, even the lighting and the displays on the wall with plates and other artwork are all just beautiful and complement the whole ship beautifully. We come now to the photo hub, which is an area where you can buy and review your photographs taken on board. Unfortunately, at the moment, we believe due to COVID restrictions, there were no photographers on board, so people were taking a lot of the photographs themselves. Next to the photo hub, we pass some of the shops, and I have just done a brief walkthrough as all the shops are actually closed at the moment due to the time of day that I went through here. But as you can see, there are a number of very nice shops, very upmarket, and I'm sure people that enjoy shopping, unlike myself, will have a wonderful time exploring all of them. I think the other thing that we notice on Iona right the way through the ship is the width of the corridors. It feels so airy and spacious. You're not bumping into people, and it feels comfortable, especially in these strange times of COVID. And as you can see on the floor, there are arrows to show you which side to walk in which direction. This was the duty-free shop, which unfortunately was closed for the whole of the duration of our cruise because we were only doing a UK staycation cruise. We continue now along to the port shop to pick up all those little essentials and gifts to take home to people. And as we come through this area, on the left hand side is the cruise loyalty desk and the shore excursions department. Of course, again, this wasn't actually being used while we were on board because there were no excursions. But it's a very pleasant area where you can sit and talk to the staff on board about which excursions you would or wouldn't like to book. And the loyalty area to the right hand side is a very comfortable area as well. It also has viewing terminals so you can see what you want to about your own excursions. We move up another deck now to deck 8 at the aft of the ship, and here we have the clubhouse. The clubhouse is an extremely large entertainment area which during the day hosts very popular events such as the bingo, and in the evening has live bands, comedians, singers and other shows for people to enjoy. Despite its very large size, it did still fill up rather quickly during the evenings, and although we were only on just over half capacity, on occasions with social distancing in place it was difficult to find a seat, but a very nice venue with good acoustics to enjoy your favourite bands, comedians or shows. From the clubhouse we exit on the starboard side of the ship and continue up a corridor to the Olive Grove. As I mentioned before in one of our previous videos, the Olive Grove was one of our favourite eating venues on board. It was just so intimate with lovely food and wonderful staff, and as you can see here the chefs preparing for their events during the day. Well done P&O, the Olive Grove is a wonderful idea. These are the tea and coffee making facilities and the suites on the right hand side that service the quays area, which I've also covered in a previous video. This area is bright and cheerful to sit in and really nice for again a new innovation on Iona for P&O, 3 takeaway venues for you to enjoy. Here they have the breakfast service out ready to go. And don't forget, all food served in this area is complimentary, included in the price of your fare. We come inside now to Sindhu restaurant, which again is beautifully decorated with the kitchen on view to people, so you could all enjoy the wonderful smells of the food as it was being cooked. And some beautiful small decorative touches, including the beautiful flower ornament and sculpture that you see when you walk into the restaurant. And just outside Sindhu is its own bar. Back out now into the main thoroughfare, walking along deck 8. This brings us to the Ripples Ice Cream Sundae, where you can get milkshakes and ice creams. They also do an ice cream afternoon tea on board, which is very innovative again for P&O. We didn't have one ourselves as Lindsey's not really a great fan of ice cream. However, we did hear that it was very large and more than enough for 2 to share for just 1. We come along now back into the atrium again, and this leads into the Keel and Cow, which is another eating venue. The Keel and Cow is what I would describe as a gastropub which focused mainly on steaks. And it did situate around the atrium, so you had the open feeling of space that some people may like, but I don't particularly like it when I'm eating. I like to be in a proper restaurant rather than having people walking past me as I eat. But one of the benefits you do get is the light and airiness of the whole size of the atrium, which as I've mentioned many times before, is a wonderfully beautiful place. As we look down from the top of the atrium on deck 8, we again have another beautiful view of that wonderful spiral staircase. It's absolutely stunning. You have to be there to really appreciate what a wonderful place it is. I'm sure I really do understand why P&O called it the Grand Atrium, because it surely is grand. We're up now on the higher decks up into the Sky Dome. The Sky Dome was an area with a swimming pool which is closed over for inclement weather, and in the evening it became a great entertainment area. There were bands and singers here playing most nights. The only problem was the acoustics were not particularly good. We move on now to the crow's nest at the front of the ship, which is the usual observation lounge serving fine drinks with lovely staff. And as you can see, this is very popular. This was on the afternoon before we actually set sail. There's piano entertainment here in the evenings. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little trip around the inside areas of Iona. She surely is a stunning ship. Goodbye and thank you.